So, in this session, we are going to discuss about the what are the exact business requirement and business process, and also along with the end user activities, right? So, in asset accounting, first what we need to create the asset master data, right? So, in the same way, we have a GL master data, which means we created from FS00, right? So, in the same way, we have created the vendor master data, and also we created the customer master data. In the same way, asset side also there is one end user who will create the asset master data. Okay. So the transaction code, just only for the reference purpose, just I'm mentioning AS01 is the asset master data. Okay. So at the time of asset master data creation, there is no entry is required. Okay. So no entry is required. Okay. So I'm not no entry means any business transaction is happening at that time. We need to enter, the system will take the general entry, right? So when we create the asset master data, there are no business transaction is happening, right? So when I create any vendor master data, no business transaction is happening, just only for our reference purpose, just we are entering the data, which means the vendor related information we are entering in the system. So in the same way, the asset related information we are entering the system, right? After that, what we need to do, after that, what is the business process? Once the end user entered the vendor asset master data, after that, we will purchase the asset from any vendor. Okay. So which means we will call it as a asset acquisition. Acquisition is nothing but in brackets I will mention purchase from vendor. Okay. So if you are purchasing anything from uh, outside, we can call it as a, if you're purchasing, actually I'm purchasing laptop, I'm purchasing machinery from so and so person, so I can treat them as a vendor. Normally we will do the purchases from the vendor side, right? So asset acquisition, in a bracket I will mention like purchase from vendor. Okay, purchase from vendor. Okay, so for this transaction code, only for the reference purpose, just I'm maintaining FB50. Now you tell me what is the entry will generate here, asset acquisition. Okay, what is the general entry? What
Debit.
yes, what is coming inside? Asset, right?
Right.
Yeah, we need to debit the asset, and who is the receiver? Who is the giver? Vendor. In this transaction, for example, I'm purchasing machinery from vendor. Okay, so there are two things involved: purchasing of machinery from vendor. So machinery is my asset, right? So in this moment, what will happen? Machinery account data, right? Because this is an asset, right? When asset is coming inside, I mentioned we need to debit the asset, right? Then after that, we are purchasing from which? From vendor. So who, so who is the giver here? We need to giver. Who is the giver? Vendor, right?
Right.
This is the entry, right? When we do the asset acquisition from F-90, the system is post this entry like machinery account, which is asset account data to vendor account, right? So you tell me, machinery is a what type of account it is? Asset account, right?
Right.
So this is an asset, right? Machinery is my asset. Got it. Now you tell me, in our organization, we have a multiple of assets, right? Machinery one, machinery two. For example, I can say that uh, production machinery is something is there. For example, laptop production machinery is one, production machinery number 001, machinery number XYZ. So in every company, there are n number of machines, right? So in end of the day, we need to combine all type of the behavior as per the asset behavior. We need to combine all the machine assets in combine in one place, right? For example, in AP, if you're able to recall, we have created the recon account, right? In AP, we have created the recon account. Now you tell me, what is the use of the recon account?
Consolidated amount.
Yes, yes, exactly. So we have a multiple vendors, right? So we cannot show all the vendors in the balance sheet. That is the reason we have a functionality of a recon account. So it will club all the amount to the together, and it will show as a single, right? So in the same way, we have a multiple machineries in our organization, right? So we cannot say each and every machinery amount. For example, I have a hundred of machineries. I cannot show the hundreds of machineries in the single balance sheet, right? So I need a one recon account for all the machineries. For example, I have a furniture. I need a one recon account for all the furnitures, right? Got it?
Got it.
Now I need to create this as a recon account. Got it? So I need to create the asset account, which I will create asset, which is machinery. Okay, so machinery. I will create one machinery account, which is comes under asset group. Asset group. I will mention as an asset group. Okay, I will create as an asset group. Okay, I will here I will mention asset group. Okay, so is this GL required or not? We need to create in FS00, right? Machinery account.
Yes.
Yes, so we need to create it from FS00. Got it. So next, what is the next entry? Vendor account. Do we need to create the vendor account? No, we already created. If you're able to recall, we already, for all the vendors, we have created one recon account and we assign that recon account to the vendor master data, right? We already created in FS00, right? No need to create it again. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So vendor GL account, we already created. So no need to create it again. Okay. So next, asset acquisition is done. Asset acquisition is nothing but the purchase of the vendor. So purchase of an asset from the vendor. Okay. From F-9 T code we will use. Okay. So the general entry is machinery account data to vendor account. Okay. So we will call it machinery will come under a asset group, right? So that is the reason all the assets, similar type of assets, we will create the single recon account. Okay. Got it. So the next I mean activity, no, next the business activities. It's not a business activity. Okay. So if you're able to recall, when you posted any AP invoice or AR invoice, how you are checking whether the document was posted or not, whether the document is open or not, with the help of the report, right?
Yes.
What is the report? FBL 1N, right? For the vendor, we have FBL 1N. For the customer or GL, we have FBL 5N or FBL 3N, right? So with the help of the report, you are able to understand how much documents are posted and how much documents are open and how much documents are cleared, right?
Right.
Yes. So in the same way, in asset, we have instead of the report, we have a asset exposure. This is similar to report only. You can simply, as of now, you will treat it as a report only. Okay. So how you checking I mean, how many documents are posted, how many uh, open items are there, and everything in the report. So in the same way, in asset exposure, it will tell you any particular asset how much depreciation is posted and how much is the net book value of that asset. Okay. So it is something like a report only. The functionality it will work like a report. Okay. So I think this transactional code is AW01. It's not okay. AW 01 is a T code. Okay. Next business activity. This is only the report. This is not an activity to identify the what I can say. Just view the how many documents are posted, something like that. Okay. So next asset acquisition is done. So what is the next activity? Depreciation done. Right.
Yes.
So depreciation run is nothing but we have this three transaction code AFAB. So what we need to do, we need to run the depreciation so that the respective depreciation will deduct from the respective asset. Okay. So for example, my asset value is 1 lakh. Okay. So every month I mentioned the 10% as a straight line method. Yesterday we discussed straight line method. As per the straight line method, it is 10%, which means every month it will deduct the 10,000 amount, right? Yes. Yes. Okay. Every
Yes,
month
sir.
it will yes, every month it will deduct the 10,000 amount. Okay. So here I need a depreciation account. Okay. It is something like a depreciation account will come under expenses, right? This is every month it is deducting, which means a depreciation we can treat it as a expenses. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. In the account category also we can expenses. It is a recon account? No, it is not a recon account. It's a normal type of expenses, right? So it is not a recon account. Now you understand the complete meaning of what is meant by the recon account, right? So we need to create it from FS00, right? No? Okay. So we need to create from the FS00. Okay. So when we in SAP or normally in accounting standard, we have a functionality. I mean, we have a functional, I mean, accounting terminology, or in SAP, we have functionality like every month I will deduct, for example, this month is October. October, it will deduct the 10,000. November, it will deduct depreciation amount expenses is 10,000. Okay. So every month it will be 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Right. So when I deduct this amount, entire amount will go to this one account, which is accumulated depreciation. Okay. Accumulated means the total amount. Okay, total amount accumulated depreciation. Okay, so why there is a use of this accumulated depreciation in a balance sheet? Okay, so if for example this is my balance sheet, so this is my balance sheet. In the balance sheet, okay, so in the balance sheet my asset value is how much? 1 lakh, right? Asset balance is 1 lakh. Okay, so how much of depreciation was calculated? 30,000. 1 minute, please. Be on. Nikita, can you please be on mute? I think there is a noise from your side. Okay, thank you. So every month the depreciation, we are treating the depreciation as an expenses, right? So every month we are deducting the 10,000, right? But now actually how the balance sheet will work? Okay, in the balance sheet asset amount is 1 lakh. Okay, so but here instead of the depreciation we will mention the accumulated depreciation. Okay, so accumulated depreciation is nothing but total depreciation amount. Okay, how much is the total depreciation amount? You tell me. For example, we are creating the balance sheet for 2025. Okay, just as per our reference, just uh, be assumption like January to December is my fiscal year. Okay, so my fiscal year is January to December. So October, November, December, 3 months I generated the depreciation for 10,000. Okay, now you tell me how much is the accumulated depreciation amount?
30,000.
30,000 exactly. So 30,000 is my accumulated depreciation amount. So once it is deducted, once the 1 lakh is deducted from the accumulated depreciation amount, so this is my actual asset value, right? The end of the year 2025, this is my actual asset value, right? So if you understand when the depreciation, when we execute the depreciation, then this general entry will execute depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation account. Right? Now you got it right. So every month 10,000, 10,000. End of the day, all the amount will move to the this respective account. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This is a negative amount, which means that all the amount will transfer, all the depreciation expenses amount transfer to the accumulated depreciation account, and this account will show in the balance sheet. Okay, in the negative. This account is only for the negative balances. Okay, it will show in the balance sheet so that the actual asset value will be calculated. Okay. So now you tell me accumulated depreciation. As I mentioned, depreciation account is an expenses account. So we can treat it as account type as an expenses, and this is not a recon account. We need to create it from FS00. Got it. Perfect. So accumulated depreciation account. This is related to the asset account or which account? Nikita, you can tell me.
Expenses.
Nikita, you can tell me. This is not an expenses. How can you tell this is an expenses? Yeah. Okay. It's somewhat like expenses. Yes. Yeah. Nikita, you tell me as a you are from accounting background, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You tell me accumulated depreciation will come under which type of account type?
Expenses.
Okay. So good. 1 minute. Can you please be on mute? So normally, as per the accounting terminology, we will call it as a contra asset. Okay, normal accounting terminology, we will call it as a contra asset. Contra asset is nothing but it is not an asset. It is not a complete asset, but it is something like we are using only for the negative credit amount purpose, which means it is consolidating. It is taking all the only negative amounts. Okay, so this is not a asset. So when it is not an asset but it is in the middle of asset, we can call it as a contra asset, but in SAP terminology we will treat it as a asset account only. Okay, so we will treat it as an asset account only because the reason is all the depreciation expenditure amount moving account to this account, right? And this account is interlinked with the asset account. That is the reason we will create this asset account as a recon account. Okay, just mark it. Okay, then we can discuss much more. Okay, so FS00, just make a note of it, like accumulated depreciation is nothing but total amount of the depreciation, right? So in accounting terminology we will call it as a contra asset, but in SAP we will treat it as a asset account type, but it is not actual asset account. But to process the functionality, we will treating normally we are treating this as a asset account. Okay. Now, what are the things we need to do? Asset retirement. I mean, what is the next? You tell me, what do you mean by asset retirement?
We are about to sell it or
Exactly. So yeah, exactly. So when we are selling an invoice in SAP terminology, we'll call it as a asset retirement, right? So in retirement, I will mention as a first sales. Okay, sales dot customer. Customer means nothing but we are just selling it and we don't know who is the customer, right? So we want to book that sales to the sales account. Okay, because we don't know who is the customer at that time. This is the one approach. So try to understand. You tell me what is the general entry here.
sales.
Yes, tell me what is going out
Asset
when we are
going out.
yes. So when asset is going out, what we need to do?
Credit.
Exactly. So here where asset is going out. So we need to credit the asset, right? So here, what are the transactions involved? Sales without customer. So we need to, when the sales without customer, I mentioned that we cannot book that expenditure to the customer. So we need to book that expenditure to the sales account. So now you tell me what are the end is sales account data to Tell me.
Asset account.
Machinery account. Yes, exactly. Machinery account or both are same. No worry. Okay. Asset account. Right? Got it?
Got it.
So the sales, normally every business sales will come under the revenue, right? Income or revenue account, right? So we need to create it under a revenue account. If you are able to recall, we have a four account types which we created: assets, liabilities, income, expenses, right? Hello. If you are able to recall, when we
Yes.
created FS00, we created four account types: assets, liability, incomes, revenue. So that is the reason I mentioned this is the asset account group, and this is the expense account group, and this is the asset group. Okay, and this is the income group. Okay, when we are selling something, we will get the income, right? If it is not income, then it will go to the loss. That is another story. Okay, so here I mentioned the sales account data to machinery account, right? So we need to create it from FS00, right? So now you tell me, do we need to create the asset account, asset GL?
No.
Already created, right? In
Yes.
above when we created, we already created one. Yes, exactly. So we already created. I will mention as already created above. Okay. So the second also same sale, instead of the sale without customer, I will mention as a sale with customer. Okay. So when we are making the sale, this is entries common. Sales account data to, okay, sales account data to machinery account. When we are doing the sales, okay, when we are doing the sales, this account will generate. Okay, sales account data to machinery account. Okay, which means that how much is the machinery cost? 1 lakh, right? Hello, just try to understand. Machinery is going out, right? Hello,
Right.
machinery is going out, which means we are transferring this 1 lakh amount to sales account, right? And we are telling the
Right.
system like machinery going out, so I need to transfer this 1 lakh because there is a no machinery, so I need to transfer this 1 lakh amount to the sales account, right? So now I'm telling that this amount of 1 lakh will go to the customer account, not to the sales account, right? But now where it is when I make the sales, it went to the sales account, right? Now I need to move to the customer account, right? Now you tell me, as per the personal account also, debit the receiver, credit the giver, right? So from sales account to, I'm transferring this 1 lakh from sales account to customer account. So that what I need to do, customer account data 1 lakh to sales account. Now you got my point, right? Earlier it was in the sales account, right? But as per my requirement, I need to book this expenditure to the customer account, not in the sales account. Okay. That is the reason what I mentioned, customer account data to sales account. Okay. So the final account would be, okay, sales, and I will mention as to customer. Okay. Okay. So, but the system will take the final entry as this customer one is a credit amount. I will mention the credit amount of red color so that you can easily understand. Credit. Okay. I think most of the payments we normally we know the basic mathematics, right? Hello, we know the basic mathematics, right? So here I have a sales account. Just I will mark it as a, I will color this sales account, and here also I have a sales account. Here the debit balance. Here I have a credit balance, right? When it is a debit balance and when it is a credit balance, it is knock off ho jata na. I mean, it will completely knock off. The system will take the account ending entry. The final entries the system will take as a customer account data in your book. I mean, if you are an accounting background student, in your books you will find this entry, the customer account data to machinery account. But when it comes to SAP will generate all these entries like the sales account data to machinery account because the sales was happened. But immediately it will book that uh, customer data or account data to sales account. But if you are an accounting stream student, this is the final entry, customer account data to machinery account. In the book, you will able to find this general entry. But actual in any, I mean, in SAP, it will generate these many transactions. Okay, so we have created the sales account, right? So no need to create, right? We already created the sales account. Hello,
Yes,
hello.
sir.
So if you try to understand, just try to understand here at the time of sales to without customer, I mentioned sales account data to missionary account, right? Because missionary is going out. I'm booking this expenses, I mean, amount to the sales account, right? Later that somewhat, if I want to book that amount to the respective customer, so what I need to do, I need to transfer that amount, customer account data to sales amount. Okay, then it was transferred to the customer account. So the final entry would be like this: customer account data to machinery account because the sales amount of the debit and sales of the credit will knock off. Okay, so here the sales account is already created, no need to create, and the machinery account is already created, no need to create, and the customer account, which we know no need to create. At the time of customer creation, we created the recon account, right? So sales accounts also already created. Okay, so I don't want to confuse, but at the time of sales, we may get profit or we may get loss, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So when you perform the 1 minute, so I think I need to change the keyboard. So at the time of sales, I don't want to make an show the general entry because it will make much more confusion. At the time of sales, we may get the profit or we may get the loss. Okay, if it is a profit, we can call it as a revenue income, right? I mean income type of GL, right? Profit on assets. I will mention that profit on sale, sale of an asset. Okay, and loss on sale of. At the time of loss, we can call it as a expense account or loss account, right? It is a income. Sorry, it is a expenses or loss. So we need to create the FSW, right? So this is the all the scenario. Okay. Apart from this asset retirement, we discuss the asset scrapping. What do you mean by asset scrapping?
Values are equal to no.
Yeah, you equal to no, or else we cannot sell that as a regular machinery because the complete value was disabled. We need to sell it as a scrap. Okay, in a simple way, you can tell as you understand that we need to sell it as a scrap. AFAB sales without custom. So when we are selling, I mean scrapping an asset, asset is going out, right? Asset credit, right? So what is the debit? Scrap account. Okay, only for the scrap purpose, asset scrap or something. I will create name it as a scrap account, right? So it is a expenses, somewhat loss. On the same way. Okay. Now you understand the concept, right? All the end user activities, asset master data we will create from AS01, then asset acquisition, which means that we are purchasing an asset from the vendor, F-90. So we can check this T codes later. Okay. When we do the asset acquisition or asset purchase, what is the general entry? Machinery account data to vendor account. At that moment, we need to create the as a recon account. Okay, as a group, we need to create the recon account, and after that, we need to run the depreciation. Right? In AFAB, we will run the depreciation, which means the account entry is depreciation account data to accumulated depreciation account. Yes, and depreciation we will treat it as a expenses, and accumulated depreciation we will treat it as a reconciliation account. Okay. So an asset retirement. Asset retirement is nothing but asset sale, right? So with customer and without customer. When it is a without customer, we are booking that expenditure asset sale expenses to the asset sale amount to sales account. Okay, sales account data to machinery account, right? So when we need to book that instead of the sale account, if we want to book that amount to the customer, what we need to do? We need to sale account data to machinery. It automatically generated at the time of sale. After that, we need to create the customer account data to the sale account. Okay. So the system will knock off the amount debit and credit balance. Then it will create the customer account data to machinery, right? So at the time of sales, we may get the profit or we may get the loss, right? So if we get the profit, we need to create the profit account. If we get the loss, we need to create the loss account, right? Got it right? And the scrapping side, scrap account data to asset credit. Understand the complete flow of the end user along with the entries also. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
So just I want to, we did not discuss about the profit and loss, right? Profit and loss. No, yes, yes. Okay. So this time that my sales amount is 90,000. Okay. 90,000. Okay. So my sales amount is I'm performing the sale, like I'm selling my asset to so and so XYZ person. Okay. So account data to what do you want? Machinery account. My machinery account is 1 lakh. Okay. Now you tell me, I got the profit or loss.
Loss.
Yes. So it will debit or credit. Debit. Because just write on that. That is the reason I mentioned like this. Okay. Loss account. Because in accounting entry, always debit should be equal to the credit. Okay. So and also debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. The same thing I mentioned in this rule also, right? Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. For example, in the same way, I perform the sales. Okay, I got 1 lakh, 1,010. Okay, sales account data to machinery account, which we discussed right now, right? Machinery account. My machinery cost is 1 lakh. Okay, now you tell me, I got a profit or loss?
Profit.
Profit. I need to debit it or credit it?
Credit.
Exactly. So, profit account, 10,000. Okay, now you understand the concept, right? So, these are the accounts which we need to create in the FS. Okay, so if you want to create right now, we can create, or else if you want to discuss about this configuration, I mean, say that asset accounting configuration, then we need to create later also. And we can this immediately. Then we can discuss about the configuration. And as I said, how many accounts I need to create? Two accounts, right? Which is one is machinery account. I will create only machinery instead of creating an asset account. Machinery account I need to create, and I will copy the bank account. How many creation? 104, 105. Somewhere I will note it down. 105. I'm creating as a machinery account. So this is a machinery account. Okay. So this is the asset account. On account assets. Right. Short key. I want to give the posting date instead of I can give this. Can give anything as a short key, but only for the specific asset related we can check asset number. Okay, instead of the asset number animation. So I have created the machinery account. So in the same way, I will create the 106 as a accumulated depreciation. As of now, we created the two accounts related to the balance sheet, right? Balance sheet account. Then later, how many accounts we need to create? One is a sales account under the right. So revenue. Okay, we already created the sales account, so we can use the same or we can create a new 70. I will name it as a sales for assets. Then what are the accounts we need to create? Sales we created, and we need to create the depreciation also, right? As an expenses, we need to create the depreciation. Instead of the, I will copy the rent account 5006 depreciation account. We have created the depreciation account also. Then after that, profit account or sale account also we need to create. We can profit is a income 02 profit on asset, profit on sale of asset. Okay, I will create as a revenue and expenses. I will take 506 as a 507. Loss on sale of asset. Okay. Next, we need to create another expenses like scrapping, asset scrapping. So as of now, we created all the echo in the GL, right? Hello.
Right.
So this is the reason I explained all the general entries. So with the help of the general entries, we understood that what are the GLs are required. Okay, and what type of the GLs are required. So as per this information, we created the GL which is required for our configuration. Okay, so you familiar that GLs will come under which module, which sub module. I mean, please it will come under FI. Okay, in FI we have a AP, AR, asset accounting, many things, right? So GL will come under, sorry, the GL numbers will come under like a GL module, right? Okay, you can I can say like this. For example, FS00, we use FS00 transaction code to create the GLs, right? Hello.
Right.
FS00 transaction code, we create the GL. So you try to understand FS00 will come under which submodule? GL master data, right? FS00, where we create
Ah,
the GL master data in FS00. So it is related to the GL module, right?
right.
So FS00, where we create the GL master data in FS00, right? So GL. So with the help of this FS00, we will create the GL master data, which is we completely understand. Okay. So in asset master data, where we will create AS01, right? This is the T code, AS01. Okay. So in AS01, we created the asset master data, right? Okay, so in GL we created, there is a logic behind it. Okay, so in GL we created the GL from FS00. Okay, in FS00 we created the GL master data. In AS01 we created the asset master data. Right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you got it right. As of now, you understood that FS00 we create the GL master data. In AS01 we are about to create. In future we are about to create the asset master data, right? But try to understand these two are different submodules, right? GL is a different submodules and asset is different submodules, right? So how the system will know this respective GL belongs to which asset? I mean, how this interlink will happen? GL is a different submodule, right? I mean, sorry, GL is a different submodule and asset is a different submodule. Got it? How the integration will happen? Try to understand. For example, FI is a separate module, MM is a separate module, right? So we have an integration between MM and FI, right? Got it? Integration is nothing but the connectivity. So in FI also, GL is a different module, submodule, and asset accounting is a different submodule. Okay, so we should have a integration between GL and asset accounting, that we will call it as a mapping or integration. So with the help of the account determination, if you're able to recall, yesterday I mentioned that account determination, we will create this GL mapping. Okay, got it?
Got it.
So just telling only for the information purpose. Later we will do the same activity. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the configuration of SAP. There is a okay 5 minutes there. Okay, Mm. Okay, just can I continue 10 minutes more or else? Hello.
Yeah, Sai, I think today this much is
Hello.
fine.
Okay, this
Hello.
much is fine, right? Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Tomorrow we can tell you about the what are the configuration steps are required. We completely understand the configuration steps, and day before tomorrow we can do the entire configuration. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. There is any doubts as of now?
As of now, no doubts.
Okay. Thank you. So tomorrow we can discuss about the all the configuration steps. Okay. Bye.
Bye, Sai. Thank you.